to just listen for a minute. I'm going to give you a scenario, and then we're going to talk about the scenario a little bit. So imagine here at school, two students are standing over by themselves. They're talking quietly, but they're very serious to each other, okay? And then another student is going to overhear them. They are talking about something that they've done in violation of school rules, okay? In violation of school policy. The third student who overhears them is going to share that conversation with two other students. So that person's going to tell two other students. One of those two students is going to go to the administration and tell them what they heard as hearsay from somebody else. The principal is going to search their lockers, the first two students. He's going to search their lockers and he's going to find some incriminating evidence, and the students are going to get suspended and sent to AEP per school policy, okay? So think about this. Do the first two students have a right to privacy?
Yes.
I mean, if they're violating school rules.
Okay, they were violating school rules, that's true. They were talking about it, so they did violate school rules. Kat?
You still have to have a warrant to search somebody's house or their car.
Okay.
Has reasonable suspicion, so it should be the same way our students.
So it should be the same way for students, okay? So they should have had a right, I was going to get to that, but yeah. So they should have had a right to not have their lockers searched, is what you're saying. They should have had a right to assume that they had privacy in their lockers, okay? Do they have a right to privacy when they're talking?
Yes.
Okay, but they're talking in a public place, or is that they're talking in the hallway? Do they have a right to privacy in the hallway? No. Ethan, you say no, why? Right. All right, and they should, if they're talking about something like that, they probably should be aware of other people being around too, right? Okay, so does the third student have the right to freedom of speech? Do they have the right to tell other people about what they heard? Well, that's true. Okay, they have the right, but it doesn't mean they should. There's a difference. Just because you have the right to do something doesn't necessarily mean you ought to do that thing. Okay, that's true. Morality is different than legality. Okay, so definitely true. Okay, are the two students who heard about it, or that student who overheard it, are they responsible in any way to go tell the administration?
They don't have to.
They don't have to. Are they legally responsible?
No.
No. Okay. Are they morally responsible? Not necessarily. Okay. Why, Kat?
It's like, if it was just a school rule, for all you know, it could have been like, trust me.
Right.
I have a glass bottle on campus.
Right. Okay.
It just depends on
Okay. So if it's something severe, if it's drugs, would they have a legal responsibility or a moral responsibility to report that?
I guess that depends on the person.
Depends on the person.
About that.
Okay. All right. So there's a different moral standard for everybody, or yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. And then the locker search. The locker search. Unfortunately, students are not protected by the Fourth Amendment. Okay. The Supreme Court has said that school is a public place and the government has an interest in being able to look at your stuff. Okay. So they don't have to get a warrant to search students' lockers. Okay, so just be aware of that. Like, they bring the drug dogs around and they, go around to cars and stuff, and so they have the right to do that. You guys don't have the right to privacy the way that adults have the right to privacy. Okay. All right. Let's talk about so that's examples of civil rights. Okay, the right to privacy, the right to freedom of speech, the right to expect that your stuff, is private unless you have a warrant to come search it. So what does it mean to have civil rights? What is a civil right? What do you think, Madison? What's a civil right?
Rights for like the freedom that you get.
Okay, who is it freedom from? Is it freedom from other people? The government. Okay, it's freedom from the government. Liam, is that what you were going to say?
I was gonna say basically the rights that all civilians that follow the law get.
Okay? That's absolutely true. So everybody in America should expect to get the same civil rights, right? It
Yes.
shouldn't be because of, your gender, shouldn't be because of your race, shouldn't be because of the clothes you wear or what you choose to do unless you choose to break the law, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so civil rights are rights to personal liberty, and that's guaranteed to all U.S. citizens. Do you guys remember which amendments give you those rights? Which amendments make everybody a citizen who was born here, and which one makes all citizens able to have due process? You guys remember? Which station are you?
No, sorry.
Oh, sorry, Chantel? 14th Amendment gives you the right to due process, okay? Gloria? Oh, you were about to say, okay. Be bold, say it quickly. All right, trust in yourself. All right, so 14th Amendment gives you the right to due process. So everybody gets the right to due process regardless of color or anything else, okay? And that's the amendment that's been used for civil rights litigation. So that's good. What amendment gives everybody the right to be a citizen? Anybody remember? Or freedom, I'm sorry, freedom. So citizenship is 14th, you're right. I was backing up. Okay. So 13th Amendment is going to give everybody the right to freedom, and then 14th is going to give everybody the right to be a citizen, and that means due process. Okay? What rights are guaranteed and protected under the Constitution? What rights do you have? Terrell, what's a right you have under the Constitution? I'll give you a clue. There's the door over there. The First Amendment gives you the freedom of what? Okay, so speech, religion, press, petition, and assembly. So First Amendment covers a whole lot of things, right? So you have the freedom of speech. You can say what you want to say, and the government can't arrest you. Okay, that's a huge one. So that one's really big. Kat mentioned another one. So what's the Fourth Amendment protect you from? Search and seizure, exactly. So you can't go, I can't stop you. If I'm a police officer, I can't pull you over for nothing and search your car, okay? I have to have a reason to pull you over, so you have to be speeding or a broken tail light or something like that, and I can pull you over, but I still can't search your car unless you give me permission or unless I have a warrant, okay? So I have to have that reasonable suspicion that you have something. Probable cause is what they call it, okay? All right, Jacob?
The right to bear arms.
Right to bear arms, the Second Amendment. That one's very controversial right now. People are still trying to decide, what does that mean? Does that mean that everybody has the right to all guns anytime they want?
No.
Does it mean that people have the right to limited amount of guns? Does it mean that only the National Guard should have guns, okay, and the federal troops? So there's still a lot of controversy about that, okay? True. All right. What are some other laws other than the Constitution that protects civil liberties?
Bill of Rights.
The Bill of Rights, that's part of the Constitution, though. That's attached to the Constitution, okay? What's a law that we mentioned that we've been talking about for civil rights that was passed in the 60s? Anybody remember?
Passed in the 60s.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday.
24th Amendment.
What's that?
24th Amendment.
Oh, the 24th Amendment. What's the 24th Amendment guarantee?
Free voting.
Free voting for who?
Everyone.
For everyone,
Because
okay?
no pay.
So, no pay, exactly. So poll taxes are illegal. So that's definitely true. That's an amendment. That's part of the Constitution, okay? So think about laws.
Civil rights.
Civil Rights Act, okay, of 1964. So Civil Rights Act, and then that's followed by what? What were they really concerned about in the 60s? That African Americans couldn't what?
Read.
Couldn't vote, okay? Couldn't vote. And so the Civil Rights Act is in 64, the Voting Rights Act is in 1965, okay? And so those are going to be laws that protect civil liberties, okay? All right, we are going to be learning about some of the people who fought for these rights, okay? These civil liberties for all people. And so you know some of them. Can you guys think of people that you know who fought for civil rights? Who'd you say? Martin Luther King Jr., okay? He comes to mind. Everybody thinks of him because we have a day for him. Lots of stuff's named after him. Anybody know anybody else? Rosa Parks, okay? Rosa Parks was a pioneer for the civil rights movement, absolutely, okay? Anybody else? Malcolm X, okay? He's on our list as well, so we'll be talking about him. your teams, okay? Who's been watching March Madness? Anybody a March Madness fan in here? All right, Jacob. Jacob, can you explain to us what a bracket is? If you lose, you're out. Okay, so it's single elimination according to this type of bracket. That's true, single elimination. What's it to decide?
The winner.
The winner, okay? So you can decide the winner of just about anything, and in this case, we're going to decide who was the most influential person or the biggest proponent, okay? Who was most interested in civil rights, okay? So you have matchups. So you have to decide the 4 matchups on the sides before you can move on to the ones in the center, okay? You're going to get to the semifinal round there on the sides, and then the championship is here in the center, and then you write the winner down at the bottom, okay? I want you to do this with your group. So you're going to talk about with your group who the winner is among these people, okay? So like the first one, Jackie Robinson and Hector P. Garcia. Which one of these would have been more of a proponent for civil rights, okay? Which one would win that round? You talk about it with your group, then you're going to decide, then you're going to have to face Martin Luther King Jr., whichever one of those wins, okay? So you're going to go step by step until you end up with the winner, all right? So go ahead and do that with your group for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to do the other side with the biggest villain as well. And that's a much smaller bracket because we only had 4 people on that list, okay? So that was a small bracket. Okay, guys, let's talk about these a little bit, okay? So, biggest proponent of American civil rights. You had 12 people, so it's a lot of people to have to compare against each other. Who were your 2 matchups? Let's see. Who'd you end up with, Rebecca?
For like
In the 2 in the middle. Yeah. The championship.
and Malcolm X.
Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. Okay. So, who ended up winning for you guys?
Okay.
You couldn't pick. Okay, why? Why couldn't you pick?
Because it's like,
It's hard.
equal.
Right? They seemed equal? Okay, so it was a tie. We can call it a draw for you guys. Okay. All right. Why was it hard not to pick one of these people?
Because they both have put effort.
Okay.
A lot of effort.
They both put a lot of effort. They both had large contributions. Okay, that's true. All right, Madison, who did you have for your 2 main people? John. All right, Martin Luther King Jr. and who? Lyndon B. Johnson. Interesting. Okay, so Martin Luther King Jr., who contributed a lot to civil rights in different ways. He was a minister. He led the Montgomery bus boycott. He was involved in the march on Washington. Did the I Have a Dream speech? All of that. Lyndon B. Johnson. What did Lyndon B. Johnson contribute?
He got the Civil Rights Act, and
Okay.
And that was a big part of it.
That's a huge part. He got the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 passed. And what people don't really realize is that JFK, who got assassinated, wanted those things to pass but couldn't get the votes for it. Okay? Lyndon B. Johnson is the one who gets the votes for it because he was a really good politician and actually he had a lot of dirt on people and kind of blackmailed them into voting for it. Okay? And so he got it to work. And so if JFK had not been assassinated, African Americans would have lost out because JFK couldn't have gotten it done. Okay? So LBJ is an excellent choice for civil rights. Okay? So who ends up winning for you?
I said
LBJ, interesting choice, okay? So LBJ over Martin Luther King Jr. That argument could be made, okay? I definitely think both of them contributed a lot, okay? Who did you guys have? 3?
one can do it without the other.
Very nice, okay? One couldn't do it without the other, all right? Do you think people, but they're on the wrong side of history, okay, at that time. So if they've been born 50 years before, they would have been perfectly fitting in with racist America. But in the 1960s, they're not fitting in with America as it is standing, okay? All right, so Barry Goldwater, who runs for president, okay? Lester Maddox, who becomes governor of Georgia because he sells his restaurant because he doesn't want to serve black people, okay? Orville Faubus, who is the governor of Arkansas, right? Yeah, Arkansas. And then who shuts down the schools so that black people can't attend white schools. And then George Wallace, who famously says, segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever, something like that, okay? So which one of these guys do we think might have been the biggest problem for civil rights? Orville Faubus. Why?
Because he shut down the schools.
He shut down the schools. Why is that a major problem?
No education.
Okay, so he's changing the rules of the game, right? He's taking his ball and going home because he can't win, all right? So that does make him a bad guy, all right? Anybody have anybody other than Faubus? Luke, who do you got?
I put Barry Goldwater because his opposition of the civil rights led to the movement of racists and progressives into Republicans, meaning there's progressives in both parties and leading to lots of progression.
Okay, very good. Barry Goldwater's a nice guy, but he asked the Southern Democrats to switch parties and become Republican. This is when the Republican Party becomes the party of against civil rights, okay? And the Democratic Party becomes the party for civil rights. Before that, they had been the opposite way, okay? The Democrats had controlled the South for 100 years, and now they switch and become Republicans.